Have you ever met someone and thought, how are they like that? Not rich, not famous, not supermodel level attractive, but confident, calm, comfortable in their own skin. They walk into a room and somehow the room adjusts. And then there's the rest of us, rehearsing a simple hello in our head like it's a job interview, overthinking a text for 15 minutes, reliving something slightly embarrassing from 2017 at 2 a.m. So what's the difference? Is personality something you're just born with, or is it something you can actually develop? Today, we're breaking down the psychology of personality development in a real way. No fake B-alpha nonsense, no just believe in yourself slogans. Just how personality actually forms and how you can shape it. Let's start with something important. Your personality is not a fixed object. It's more like a pattern of thoughts, a pattern of reactions, a pattern of behaviors repeated over time. And here's the wild part. Most of those patterns were built before you even realized you were building them. When you were younger, you learned what was safe. Maybe being quiet kept you out of trouble. Maybe being funny got you attention. Maybe being helpful earned approval. Maybe staying small avoided criticism. And slowly, that strategy became your personality. But it wasn't destiny. It was adaptation. Psychology shows that personality is shaped by both temperament and environment. Temperament is your natural wiring, like whether you're more sensitive or more outgoing. Environment is how people reacted to you. If every time you spoke up someone shut you down, guess what your brain learned? Speaking up equals danger. So you stopped. Not because you're shy by nature, but because your system decided it was safer. That's how personality develops, not as who you truly are, but as who you needed to be. Now here's where it gets empowering. If personality is a pattern, patterns can change, but not by wishing, not by watching one motivational video and waking up a new human. It changes through awareness and repetition. Let's talk about confidence, because that's what most people really mean when they say personality development. They don't want a new personality. They want to feel secure. Confident people aren't fearless. They just have a different relationship with discomfort. When a confident person walks into a room, their brain doesn't say, everyone is judging you. It says, let's see what happens. That tiny difference changes everything. Confidence isn't about thinking you're amazing. It's about being okay with not being amazing and showing up anyway. Think about learning to cook. The first time you try, you're Googling every step. You're nervous, you're double-checking the salt like it's explosives. But after cooking 50 times, you move naturally. Personality works the same way. If you repeatedly put yourself in small social situations, your brain slowly updates. Okay, we survived. And survival builds self-trust. Now let's talk about something people avoid. Self-image. Your personality will always match your self-image. If deep down you believe you're awkward, you will behave awkwardly. Not on purpose, but because your brain wants consistency. If you suddenly act confident while believing you're the shy one, your mind feels tension, and it will pull you back to familiar behavior. That's why change feels uncomfortable. You're not just changing actions, you're challenging identity. So how do you develop your personality intentionally? Step 1. Notice your automatic reactions. Do you apologize too quickly? Do you avoid eye contact? Do you laugh when you're nervous? Do you downplay your achievements? None of these are random. They're protective patterns. Step 2. Ask where that pattern came from. Not to blame anyone, just to understand. Maybe you learned that being loud was too much. Maybe you learned that success made people jealous. Maybe you learned that conflict equals rejection. Once you see the pattern, it loses power, because awareness interrupts autopilot. Step 3. Practice new behaviors in small doses. Not extreme transformation. Not tomorrow I become a completely different person. That never works. Instead of, I'll become outgoing, try, I'll make eye contact for 2 seconds longer. Instead of, I'll become confident, try, I'll speak once in this meeting. Small shifts build new evidence, and personality grows from evidence. Another big myth is that personality development means becoming louder. No, it means becoming more aligned. If you're naturally calm, develop calm strength. If you're naturally energetic, develop focused energy. The goal isn't to copy someone else, it's to remove the fear that's limiting who you already are. Let's bring humor into this for a second. Have you ever practiced a serious conversation in your head, and in your imagination you're calm, articulate, powerful, and then in real life you say something like, yeah, so, like... Personality development is closing the gap between the version of you in your head and the version of you in reality. And that gap closes through exposure. The more you show up imperfectly, the less power perfection has over you. There's also something psychology calls the spotlight effect. We think people notice us way more than they actually do. You think everyone saw you stumble over a word. Most people were thinking about what they're having for dinner. Realizing this is freeing. Your personality blossoms when you stop assuming constant judgment. Now let's talk about emotional regulation, because personality isn't just how you act socially, it's how you handle emotions. Do you explode under stress? Do you shut down? Do you avoid conflict? Emotional maturity is a huge part of personality development. And emotional maturity doesn't mean never feeling angry or anxious. It means pausing before reacting. That pause changes everything. Instead of snapping, you breathe. Instead of avoiding, you respond. Instead of spiraling, you ground yourself. Each pause rewires your personality. You become someone who handles things instead of someone who is controlled by them. Another powerful concept is exposure. The more you avoid something, the scarier it feels. The more you face it, the smaller it becomes. Avoiding social situations makes you more shy. Engaging in them makes you more capable. Your brain updates based on experience, not intention. And here's something important. Personality development isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming stable. Stable in your self-worth, stable in your values, stable in your reactions. When you know what you stand for, your personality naturally strengthens because you're not adjusting yourself constantly to fit every room. You become adaptable, not fake. That's a big difference. Adaptable means you can adjust your tone. Fake means you abandon your values. True personality growth makes you flexible without losing yourself. And let's be honest, it's not always comfortable. You'll feel awkward sometimes. You'll say the wrong thing. You'll overthink afterwards. That's normal. Growth feels weird before it feels natural. Remember when you first tried driving? You were hyper-aware of everything. Now you drive while thinking about life, music, groceries, and what you're going to text later. That's personality development. Practice until natural. So here's the real secret. You don't build personality by trying to impress people. You build it by keeping promises to yourself. If you say you'll wake up earlier, and you do, your self-trust grows. If you say you'll speak up, and you do, your confidence grows. If you say you'll stay calm, and you try, your emotional strength grows. Personality is built in private long before it's visible in public. And here's something I want you to remember. You are not just shy. You are not just awkward. You are not just bad socially. Those are old strategies, and strategies can evolve. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "That's just my personality," pause. Ask yourself, is that who I am or who I learned to be? Because if personality is learned, it can be developed. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily. Through awareness, through repetition, through small, brave moments. One conversation at a time, one boundary at a time, one pause at a time. And one day, someone will meet you and think, how are they like that? And you'll know the answer. You built it.